Do your hair a favor by checking in online and arriving just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience. While you surround yourself with sports on TV, fresh cut, massaging shampoo, and hot steam towel. Claim your spot today. SportClips.com/check-in.
And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head the dead. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood.
Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me your boom.
He is Jalen versus everybody.
What up, though?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in, center stage on the mic.
And we putting it on wax. It's the new style.
We are Jalen Jacoby on ESPN 2 at 2 p.m. What do we do?
We get the people what they want.
So you remember when we made that announcement about how we're going to be on every day at 2 o'clock on ESPN 2? Do you remember that? We did that like a week ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Do you remember what happened since then?
The Australian Open took place.
They're not going to put us on TV for another week and a half. But we will always leave you with a dope pod to step to. We don't like to have meetings around here, but we had to have a meeting and say, you know what, we got to give the people a pod. We can't just disappear for 2 weeks. So we'll be giving you podcasts Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the next 2 weeks until we return to our Monday through Friday 2 p.m. time slot. Very excited about that, but we'll always leave you with a dope pod to step to. Maybe not every day for the next 2 weeks. Very excited about my next couple Tuesdays and Thursdays, Jalen.
Well, hopefully everybody got a chance to watch the program today, Monday, MLK Day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If the people wanted an epic weekend of NFL playoff excitement, that is exactly what they got, and it all ended in the most insane way possible. Case Keenum threw this pass to Stephon Diggs, and he caught it. And he turned, and he ran into the end zone for the very first walk-off touchdown to end regulation in the history of the NFL playoffs. As Stephon Diggs was running towards the end zone, what was going through your mind, Jalen?
Wow, initially, because watching it real time, you anticipate that pass probably is going to be incomplete.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was completed. If it is completed, is he going to be able to get out of bounds?
Oh, he's going to be tackled in bounds if it's completed.
If he is in bounds and he does get tackled, will they be able to get the field goal unit on in time to actually kick a long field goal because they have a really good field goal kicker?
No chance. Kai Forbath.
And so when you see him running to the end zone, looking around for defenders like the game is over, I now say somebody messed that up.
Oh, I was looking at like there's got to be another defender back there. Like if he was that open to catch that pass, there has to be a safety that they put on the goal line. There has to be someone that's going to chase him down. There has to be a flag on the play. I just kept looking like there's no way that this actually happened. And it felt like all the Vikings fans in the place I was at, all the Vikings players kind of had that same feeling. Like you could see them just kind of looking around. The celebration was a little subdued from what I expected it to be just because it was so miraculous. Now let's turn the attention to Marcus Williams, the safety, the rookie safety who made an interception earlier in the game and missed this tackle. What do you think he was trying to do, and what did he end up doing?
Hit the brakes.
Okie dokie.
Did you say missed a tackle? Is that what you call that?
He missed a tackle.
What he did is what people like me who aren't physical enough, too scared to actually play physical football would do. You run to the play, and then you run past the play.
You run to the play, and then you just kind of fall down.
And you hope somebody else gets him to the ground. The problem is, not only did he not locate the ball in all seriousness, he didn't keep his eyes up, his chest up, allow him to catch the ball, which, by the way, terrific throw by Case Keenum.
Yep, great throw.
Great catch by Stephon Diggs.
Absolutely.
Great dexterity to actually spin and get towards the end zone. I'm not overlooking any of that.
Of course.
But however, you have to get him on the ground when he makes that play. When you whiff and you take out your old man like a bowling pin, and all of a sudden he runs off to the end zone, Man, that's a poor way to end your rookie season.
It really is. I mean, if there's ever a time where you should really break down and wrap up and just make sure you drag that defender down, make sure you at least slow that receiver enough to have your teammates come and help in the gang tackle. It just seems like, I don't know, maybe diving at the outside of his legs might have not been the smartest thing to do. But it's so easy to say that now. And I just want to salute the Minnesota Vikings for giving us a legendary playoff win. And let's be honest, let's be real. A lot of people are rooting for those Vikings against the Philadelphia Eagles next week. But one game that was even more surprising than that last-second Vikings win was the Steelers and the Jaguars. Let's be honest, let's be real. We all thought it was going to be a rematch between the Steelers and the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. We all thought that in the media. A lot of fans thought that. But you know who didn't think that? Mr. Campbell.
We try to win any way we can, play one play at a time, and execute, but I take it, 2-0 if it comes that way, or 45-42 if it comes that way, as long as we win, I'm happy.
How did Calais Campbell predict exactly the final score of this game, Jalen?
Crazy. I need to ask him what the 4-digit number gonna be. You know what I'm saying? How about this, however? Going into these playoffs, you always talk about the notable QBs, and rightfully so.
Of course.
Tom Brady's the only one left standing. All of the other ones had multiple question marks. Yep. And for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who had been a team clearly led by their defense, for the score to be so outstanding, I appreciated how the game began. Jacksonville played true to their identity. 4th down, 2 yards to go. We're going for it. And not only are we going for it, we're going to run the ball. We're going to rely on the two things that got us here. Our run game and our defense. And before you know it, they were putting points on the board. Fournette goes out with injury. You have to give the Pittsburgh Steelers credit by the way they came back. Big Ben, 5 INTs the first time they faced one another. 5 TDs this time they played against each other. Nobody except Calais Campbell could have picked a score that way. But you talked about who overlooked the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think you left out the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin was talking about playing against the Pats. Oh, Mike Mitchell mentioned he loved the chance to play against the Pats. Le'Veon Bell loves to play in the second round of the playoffs, and he wants to get his bread. The problem is the Jacksonville Jaguars were listening, and a team that thumped them early in the season in Pittsburgh were able to return the favor in the playoffs and knock them out.
And I want to salute, there's so much attention today on the 4th and 1 sweep and the 4th and 1 throw and in the onside kick and these decisions that the Steelers made to supposedly lose the game. The Jacksonville Jaguars won that game. And you mentioned when the momentum was not going their way at the end of the first half, Fournette got injured and just felt like that the Steelers offense was going to score touchdown after touchdown and eventually win the game. The Jacksonville Jaguars kept stopping them and kept scoring touchdowns. They won the game, and I'm very excited for the impending game between the Jaguars and the Patriots. But before that, we have the Philadelphia Eagles holding the Atlanta Falcons to 10 points. That Falcons offense to 10 points. And there were the Falcons on the goal line trying to score, to win the game, to have their Stephon Diggs moment. And Julio Jones could not catch the ball in the end zone. What did you think about the Falcons-Eagles game in Philly?
Literally, when this happened, I called up a friend of mine who's a collegiate football coach because I was confused that Matt Ryan was last year's league MVP. Julio Jones is an all-world receiver, the best in the game, yet they're terrible at connecting in the red zone.
They cannot.
And when you look at the first down play, Randy Moss said exactly what my friend the coach said. It was a great breakdown. I needed to know this. On first down, they did it out of shotgun. And you notice when Julio Jones goes up for the ball, it's almost like he double clutches. Almost like they lost the timing. As opposed to if he would have went straight under center, you do that 3-5 step drop, all of a sudden now boom, the timing is better. The same exact thing happened with his hands on the final play. It almost looked like he double clutched, couldn't get the timing, and in theory it looks like it goes through his hands. and nothing goes through Julio Jones' hands. So for those two guys to not be able to connect at the biggest moment of the season, and they hadn't been able to do it the entire year, I know what they're going to be working on this all season. So you have to give kudos definitely to the Philadelphia Eagles and their defense. I see you, Brandon Graham, representing the city, bossing up. Just like Jalen Ramsey, I see you, Mr. Mills, in Philly doing your thing. And the way the Eagles have played defensively at home, I wouldn't be surprised if we fly, Eagles, fly on to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Hey guys, is it time to get your hair in the game?
Time to claim your spot.
Then it's time to check in online at sportclips.com/check-in for a fresh cut, legendary hot steam towel and massaging shampoo.
Time to claim your spot.
So do your hair a favor by checking in online and arrive just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV. Get in line online at sportclips.com/check-in.
Time to claim your spot.
Jalen Rose, do you remember when the Philadelphia 76ers picked Markelle Fultz number 1 in the draft? Number 1 in the draft? And then he started playing actual NBA basketball games, and his jump shot looked pretty broken. Well, guess what? We've got new video of Markelle Fultz shooting jump shots. Shot still looks pretty broken, Jalen Rose. Still looks pretty broken. Jalen, Coach Brett Brown had something to say about this as well. When asked what he needs physically to come back to the NBA game, here's what Brett Brown said about Markelle Fultz. He said, quote, I think what he needs is to be able to shoot a basketball. I don't know what % we're going to apply that comment, but he needs to feel he can go and shoot a basketball. To just render it that free throw is pretty good, and it is. And to only go that far without talking about some of the other pieces is not what we are looking at. And I know he isn't looking at that. Jalen, what is going on with Markelle Fultz?
From what I'm hearing, basically, once Fultz got drafted, his personal trainer decided that they wanted to make a change to his shot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to the coach's commentary, he's basically distancing himself from the scenario, saying he needs to be able to make a shot, not we need to help him work on his jump shot.
Ooh, I like what you're doing there.
Because a lot of people felt like he wasn't playing because he was injured. And yes, there were some times that he did need to get as far as rehab and to get himself back ready to play.
Yep.
But there also has been a period of time where he's actually been practicing with the team, able to play in NBA games, but not playing in NBA games for the reason you just said. If I'm said player, in this case Markelle Fultz, when I walk across the stage and I'm the number 1 pick and I'm not a bust and I can buy my mother a house, guess the last thing I'm going to do? Change my jump shot.
Yeah, I don't know why you would do that.
If Lonzo Ball ain't changing his jump shot.
Exactly. If Lonzo Ball's still doing that.
And they done won 4 straight. I'm trying to tell you, I don't understand why Markelle Fultz, who was a shooter in college, a really good free throw shooter as well, decided to change his shot. But because it's become so broken and his confidence is so down, now they don't feel like they can put him in games and he can be productive. But we talk a lot about the process. Imagine if they would have taken Tatum. Imagine if they would have taken Donovan Mitchell.
Who knows?
Imagine if they had taken Dennis Smith Jr.
Well, they didn't. They took Markelle Fultz and his broken jump shot.
Imagine they take Lauri Markkanen. Shall I go on?
Well, I'm going to move on, Jalen. I'm going to move over to Lithuania, where the controversial Ball family made their professional debut. The first time LiAngelo and LaMelo Ball had ever played professional basketball. Guess what? It did not go well. LiAngelo played 9 minutes. Melo played about just over 5 minutes. They combined to score 0 points and went 0 for 7 from the field. You'll never believe this, Jalen Rose. But LeVar Ball was critical of the coaches after the game, saying that they need to play my boys at the same time. Jalen, I predict that the Ball family will be back on American soil by Valentine's Day. How long do you think this experiment will last in Lithuania?
We felt individually different times, but we acknowledged that we didn't think this was going to happen the entire season, and that's obvious. I like your Valentine's Day pick because here's the deal. Once you decide to go play professional basketball in Lithuania for a coach that can't speak English, for a team that can barely find somewhere to consistently practice, and sometimes has issue meeting payroll.
Financial requirements, yep.
Here's what's going to happen. They're going to show up and be so upset with the team when they're not getting paid to play. Yep. And so LeVar now is going to have to get in front of A, they're not balling and putting up numbers.
No, they're not.
B, I'm not at Laker games. I'm over here. We in Lithuania right now. When I could be big baller Brandon in the United States. I think this experiment is going to go poorly overall. And like you, feel like they'll be back home sooner than expected.
Well, last week, LeVar Ball made a lot of noise and was always controversial because of some of the things he said about Luke Walton and saying that the players don't want to play for Luke Walton. Well, as they always do, Magic Johnson and Jeannie Buss sent these tweets in full support of Coach Luke Walton, saying they're playing the best basketball of the season and saying hashtag in Luke we trust. However, Brian Windhorst is reporting that the Lakers could potentially try to replace Windhorst with Fizdale. Jalen, how much do you believe in this public support of Luke Walton?
I believe in it for now. The NBA coaching fraternity understands this isn't a lifetime job. And the NBA made no coaching changes for any team this offseason. That's going to change this year, during the season, as well as the offseason. There will be at least 5 or 6 new coaches in the league next year standing on the sideline. I, however, don't think the Lakers are going to be one unless they feel like the star player that they're trying to attract also wants said coach. For those people, in my opinion, that think LeBron James is going to leave Cleveland just to go play in L.A. for a coach he hand selects, he doesn't have to. He has that in Cleveland.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to leave.
He can hand select everything in Cleveland. Coach Fizdale is not going to make LeBron James go to Los Angeles. If anything, he would make Coach Fizdale go to Cleveland.
Shout to Fizdale, shout to Mark Jackson, shout to Monty Williams. They all will be head coaches in the league next year.
On January 16th, when the CW's newest superhero suits up, lightning is going to strike. Don't miss the electrifying new series, Black Lightning. Let me give you some backstory on Black Lightning. His name is Black Lightning, a.k.a. Jefferson Pierce, had previously powered down his crime-fighting career for the last 9 years. He's been saving lives the best way he knew how, as a principal at the local high school. But in this city, when the hero's away, the gangs will play. And this dude's a family man. So when his people got caught in the crosshairs, it was time for Black Lightning to take charge. Now, the former hero is back in full force for a second round against corruption and violence, because lightning does strike twice. It's dark days for the city of Freeland, but the storm is coming when Black Lightning brings his power back to the people. Not only will the series Black Lightning spark you up, but also the soundtrack is full of slamming hip-hop cuts from songs like Rome Fortune and old school hits from blues singer Nina Simone, Bobby Bland, and the great Isaac Hayes. So don't forget, January 16th, the world will know Black Lightning. Series premiere right after The Flash, only on the CW. Klay Thompson is known for his accuracy from distance. There's his teammate, JaVale McGee, getting off the plane. Klay Thompson going to ambush him with a snowball and misses wildly. What's more disappointing, Klay Thompson missing with the snowball or the fact that JaVale McGee carries a pillow with him on plane rides?
The pillow's more disturbing.
Thank you.
Klay grew up on the West Coast.
That's right,
So
not a lot of snowball
I'm not surprised
fights.
that he's not used to being able to function when snow's on the ground. I'm from the Midwest. You're from the East Coast. That's what we were bred to do. Now, JaVale.
Why are you carrying a pillow? A gigantic pillow? Come
There
on,
are only
man.
specific things in life where people never have to open their mouth, and I judge them. And as somebody that travels a lot, when I see someone carrying a pillow, I do judge them.
You don't need your own pillow. There are already pillows on the plane. I know you've got a long neck, JaVale McGee, and you're tall. You've got all these excuses. But come on, man. You don't need to carry your own pillow. How long is that flight? You're not going to Qatar. You know what I mean? Like, you're going on a 90-minute flight. You don't need your own pillow, JaVale. Oh, that bothers me too. Moving on. There's a huge game tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers host champion Warriors, who will come out and play yay. However, the Cavs have lost 3 in a row. They've lost 7 of their last 10. Do the Cavs' struggles take a little bit out of this matchup for you?
They do not. And on MLK Day, for everyone enjoying a day off, or for those like ourselves that are working, I challenge you. Find your favorite MLK quote and why you're inspired by him and his legacy. With that being said, the Golden State Warriors are clearly a better basketball team. Mm-hmm. However, the Cleveland Cavaliers, this is a measuring stick game. In particular for the others, Isaiah Thomas, Crowder, Jeff Green,
Korver.
Can J.R. Smith get going? These are the type of games that now can probably boost their confidence, and or if they get thumped, it sends a message by the Warriors to let them know, y'all can go ahead and win the East if y'all want to. We're going to handle y'all when the finals come. Exciting theater. Can't wait to watch.
Your guy, Jalen Ramsey of the Jags, had this to say after their big win against the Steelers. Quote, "It ain't got much to say, but make sure y'all bring the same energy out next week and the week after. We are going to the Super Bowl, and we are going to win that bleep. We are going to win that bleep." Jalen, do you think his teammates are upset with him for predicting a Super Bowl win, or do you think they're upset with him for not knowing that there's a week off between the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl?
Well, they don't care about the week off because nobody watches the Pro Bowl anyway.
Okay.
Whether it's Ramsey, Rose, or Mills, it's a prerequisite for Jalen to have something to say.
They always talk too much.
To have some level of personality.
Jalen's all talk too much.
Help protect what matters with the ADT Safer, Smarter New Year's sales event. For a limited time, get an ADT Security Starter Kit. Everything you need to get started with ADT Pulse, including a security panel, keypad, a motion sensor, and 2 entry sensors. Plus, there's an indoor camera and key fob, all professionally installed for only $49. It's a $599 savings that comes with the warm, confident feeling of safety at home. Requires 36-month monitoring contract, QSP, and Easy Pay. Activation and early termination fees may apply. Certain markets excluded. Licenses available at ADT.com. Florida EF 0001121. Louisiana F1639. Visit ADT.com/podcast. Hurry. This special offer now ends 1/21.
You can leave us a voicemail by calling 985-80-JALEN. You can tweet at us by tweeting at Jalen and Jacoby. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show just like this.
Hey, Jalen and Jacoby. This is Jen Fox from the nation's leading pest control company. That is right. I have 2 questions. First off, Jacoby, this first one's not really a question, but I wanted to say I am so happy to hear that your cockroach problem has been resolved. If you ever need advice about that roach PTSD, we also take voicemails at 877-86464. We'd be happy to get you all taken care of and helped out. And my second question, this is for both Jalen and Jacoby. As I mentioned, I do work in the pest control business, and I want to know, who do you think is the biggest pest to play against in the NBA, both when Jalen played and today? That's it. Shout out to the whole staff. Keep giving those people what they want. Keep giving them those checks, and not those
I gotta
roaches.
talk to you, Jalen.
Thanks, you guys. Take care. Have a good day.
So
Bye.
who filters all the voicemails and picks the voicemails for the show?
Reg, that's who.
Reggie does. So Reggie, we get a lot of voicemails. And Reggie keeps bringing back the roach thing. Have you noticed that? Because Reggie's secretly at the steering wheel during these interactive segments. We probably got 100, 200 voicemails. Could be from a variety of different topics. Something that happened in the NBA, something that happened in the NFL. But Reggie, nope, he wants the show to go right back to my roach problem. Every single time. Reggie, we fixed the roach problem, okay? We're good. No more roaches in the house. Now, Jen wants to know, who's the biggest pest to play against in the NBA?
To be a pest, for me, you have to be a really productive player. Yet, one of your best attributes aren't your skill. That people tend to overlook how you get under people's skin. You're almost an irritant. I would affectionately, respectfully give that title to JRLA supporter and current Houston Rocket, future Hall of Famer, Chris Paul.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Because as an all-star level player, not only is he going to get you the points and the assists, but he also is tough defensively. And he gets you steals. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to be a small guard in the playoffs, and all of a sudden you're guarding Kevin Durant in the biggest moments, you're guarding the other team's best point guard in crucial moments, you're getting on your team, you're getting on the officials, you're getting on yourself. It just becomes irritating to all, to the point where at some point in Clipperland, it's like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, and another thing about Chris Paul is he does things to manipulate the referees that would annoy me so much. Like, if you're just a big running back on transition defense and he's got the ball, he will get into your path and then have you run into him from behind. Like someone who intentionally gets hit from behind on like the roads to get the insurance money. Like, that's what he does. He will draw a couple BS fouls a game on the other team that would make me so mad if I was covering him. So mad. I'd be like, Chris, just dribble the ball up. You don't got to get this little foul on me. So annoying. Thank you so much for the call, Jen. I appreciate your help. I appreciate you leaving the voicemail for my wife if she has any more Roach PTSD, needs someone to talk to. Let's listen to the next voicemail that Reg chose, and we'll see what he chose the topic to be this time.
What up, though? John in L.A. Quick question, guys. I'm sure you've seen the Vikings win. What a crazy play. I see them doing interviews, and I noticed Diggs is very emotional. Best thing that ever happened to him in his life. All the work is paid off, this and that. And when I heard that, mixed with the tears, I thought to myself, is it possible that the Vikings lose next week in Philadelphia because they are emotionally drained? Like they didn't quite get over this epic win against the Saints. Who knows? Just a theory. I'm a person. Give me what I want. I'd appreciate it. Shout out, Reg.
Good question. Could they be emotionally taxed? Could the win be so much to come from behind, the celebration and the resulting sort of, sleepless nights and everything? Could that hinder them as they head into Philadelphia to try to make a trip to the Super Bowl, which they are hosting?
In a vacuum, it works both ways. You can say a game-winning score like that has never taken place with 0 on the clock in playoff history in the NFL. Case Keenum under center, undrafted, third stringer to start the season. Stephon Diggs continues to perform at an elite level. You could say that momentum is now going to carry you. And because you were able to end the game in such dramatic fashion, it's going to make you play better and more confident next weekend. But I'm kind of with the caller because, first and foremost, Philadelphia's defense at home has been no joke. Mm-hmm. Points allowed, yards, and touchdowns. Like, statistically, they've had the best defense in football overall, or one of the, but definitely at home. Yep. And the thing I appreciate about this matchup, the media tends to always gravitate to the quarterback position. And on MML and on MLK Day, that used to be a little cultural. The guy who's the gunslinging, decision-making leader of the football team is under center. And so that now becomes the star, the headline. Well, in this case, you have two quarterbacks who virtually no names overall, and it represents blue-collar football as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to throw the Jacksonville Jaguars in there also. It's three teams who are stout defensively, beat you with their run game, and have quarterbacks that we all questioned whether they can actually get their teams to this point. I do feel there's going to be an emotional carryover, and that's going to benefit Brandon Graham, throwing it up like Blade Icewood shall do. So the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, do benefit by the way the Vikings ended their previous game.
For me, I can see it going both ways, kind of as you hinted at. It's like there's a term, distance makes the heart grow fonder. There's also a term, out of sight, out of mind. Like, they're both completely at odds with each other, yet they both are, like, accepted as general truths. And I think the same could be said is, yes, if they lose, the emotions of that game, and they had already felt like they were at the mountaintop. You're like the team that celebrates too much to get into the Final Four, doesn't win in the Final Four. It's like, all right, that's one way it could go. Another way it could go is, we've been touched. There's a lot of God talk after the game. Like, this is a team of destiny. It can go that way too. Like, look at us. We are a team of destiny. Nobody believed in us, and look at what we just accomplished. Let's ride this momentum, this wave. Let's ride this emotional high and have it compound our success and take us to the Super Bowl that we are hosting. It could really go either way.
Something. Why not believe in me?
Thank you, Jalen. We have time for one more voicemail.
Jalen, Jacoby, Reg, the whole crew. What up, though? Long-time listener, first-time getter through her. Because I know this call's going to get placed on there. What up, Hoods? Speaking of Hood, watching the show, re-listening. Y'all kept us waiting a long time, brother. I was going through withdrawals without a dope pod to step to. Anyway, who sets the fines and the limits or the prices thereafter when players are fined? I'm saying this because Hood is the latest person. Got fined $35K. Now, I know ball players make a lot more than me. I'm just a teacher. Shout out to all the teachers. But who sets those numbers? Because that's astronomical. $35,000 for slapping a phone out of somebody's hand? Deductible is high as heck at $250, but come on, man. Anyway, keep giving the people what they want. Keep getting them checks because you might need them just in case you get fined. Because you ain't retired yet, Jalen. Talking to you.
First of all, shout out to all the educators around the world.
No question about it. Without their sacrifice, without their discipline, there wouldn't be individuals walking this earth that are actually educated.
Did he drop a deductible? Like, was he doing some tax talk there? He was just like, look, he's like, well, it's $35K, but because you can write it off, it actually amounts to more like $1,750. I like that he did there. But, the numbers, I could see him being fined $3,500 for that, $35,000 for that, $350,000 for that. Like, the numbers are just kind of like, it's more just he got fined, right? Does it really matter? When you got fined in the NBA, I'm sure that never happened, but when you got fined, how significant was the number, whether it was 25, 30, 35, or whatever?
Oh, the number's significant. It's one of those out of sight, out of mind things. Here's an analogy that everybody could appreciate. Go a week, and each time you purchase something, use cash, not a credit card. Then all of a sudden it becomes like, wait a minute, I just paid how much at the market?
Yeah, this is real money.
That dinner cost how much? What? That shopping cost how much? And so you now pay more attention to the physical dollar because it's tangible. Unlike your credit card, you're like, just charge it, just charge it, just charge it. Then at the end of the month, you're like, wow, how I'm going to pay this bill? So I think the number is an arbitrary one because the league office makes it up, but they're trying to set a precedent every time something happens. So if somebody else does it, they can say this individual got fined for that. And $35K is a significant fine because when you, in the league's eyes, disrespect one of the paying customers, you can possibly alienate one of the paying customers. You're affecting everybody's bottom line. So we need to hit your pocket so you understand that you can't be doing that.
Here's what I really want to know. They take it out of the check automatically, right?
Like Uncle Sam.
That's all that matters. You know what I mean? Because it just hurts so much more if you have to write the check. Or you can just delay it, and then they gotta chase you down. Next thing you know, you're getting mail, and then another follow-up letter in 2 weeks. Then you get a phone call from a creditor. Not that this has ever happened to me, but just take it out of my check. If you take it out of my check, you can have it. But if you make me write a check, you can't have it. All right, don't forget, if you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave us voicemails. If you leave us voicemails, Reggie will filter through the ones that mention him and then put them on the show just like this.
What up, though, Jalen Jacoby? This is your boy, Uncle Mar. You already know. Shout outs to Reggie. Shout outs to everybody on the staff, everybody new on the staff. Congratulations to you guys again on the 2 o'clock spot on ESPN2, being back on TV. We really miss you guys. One thing I don't think you guys notice is that not only do you guys give the people what they want, you also bring people together. You know, a lot of the people, you know, executive producers, you know, that call into the show, like, you know, Matthias, Brian Smith, Allie, Big Crown, Finger Roll Jones, you know, we all keep in contact, you know, with each other and follow each other on social media and keep up with things. One thing I'm pretty sure you guys didn't know about Big Crown, not only is he the greatest mail carrier in the world, he also does a podcast, too, out there, in the shop, you know, with his voice that's very knowledgeable as well. So, you know what I mean? We love you guys, you know what I mean, for giving the people what they want and bringing people together. You know, I don't really have a question today. I just wanted to show my support to you guys, you know what I mean? So, as always, keep giving the people what they want, keep getting those checks, and let's get a move on those T-shirts, fellas. Later.
I want to talk about the T-shirts. Big shout to Uncle Mar, big shout to Finger Roll Jones, Big Crown, Matthias, Allie, everybody that tweets in every day.
And does our work for us. We really appreciate it.
And you notice how Uncle Mar dropped executive producer again? Like
he's right.
We started with associate producer, though.
No,
you know what I mean?
I
like
agree
he gave
with
himself
you.
a promotion.
I'm rolling with you, Uncle Mar. Anytime you guys become a full part of the rundown, you're executive producer. And I'm glad that family of J&J are keeping it 100 with each other on social media and supporting the program. We're on the T-shirts. We talked about getting about 500 out there. What? That's my personal goal.
Is you have no involvement in any of this T-shirt distribution. No. All you do is say in the microphones, "Why are you only giving 10 away, Jacoby? Make me look like the bad guy, first of all." And then you're like, "We're gonna give 500 away." So now I'm looking at my Twitter feed. We got over 100 of these screen grabs. Yep. So now someone on the staff, we've got a very small staff of this program. Yep. So you just say into a microphone, "Oh, we're going to give away hundreds of these." Now someone on the staff has to communicate with all these people, get their zip code, get their address, get their size. We got to get the T-shirts made. We probably don't even have 100 left from the previous round. No. So what I'm saying about these T-shirts is if we say something, we're going to live it, okay? We're going to get these T-shirts out. But just because Jalen says, "Oh, we're giving these away, no problem," he doesn't understand the actual sweat equity and elbow grease that has to go into distributing these T-shirts. Harlan's listening to this right now, kinda. I don't know who on the staff this is going to go to. Like, I don't know who this falls on. Who's going to be in charge of the T-shirts? Who's going to be the senior T-shirt associate?
We can't be in the trunk and now be on television and not give promotional gear to our supporters that put us here.
I'm not arguing. What I'm saying is, Jalen, you should be the person that has to get these addresses.
For everybody that's listening to this program, David Jacoby went from producing the show to now starring on the show to the point where he's out on the suit and the tie right now. Yep. You know why? Yep. He got another podcast about the NFL after. He helped found Sports Nation. He's going to be on there today. He don't even have the time and the energy now to come up with a way to create 500 shirts to be distributed to all of our loyal supporters.
Yeah, it's not hard to come up with a way. It's just getting somebody to actually do it. It's getting somebody to actually do it. Because it's so easy for you just to say stuff, "Oh, yeah, we're going to give away 500 T-shirts." But then, just getting the address, it's annoying. And then you got to fill out the slip, and then you got to get it to the mailroom. You got to package it. Like, that's at least 2 days of work. 2 days of work. Well, listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to challenge the staff.
Intern. I got a word for you. Intern.
Because we have some days off this week and next week, we got to get some T-shirts out.
We got 3 shows the rest of the month.
Those are TV shows. We got pods to step to. We got to give people pods to step to, so don't mislead the people. We will have podcasts for you.
The rest of the month, we're going to do 6 pods and 3 TV shows.
So we got to get out 100 T-shirts. I'm going to have a conversation. We'll put a timetable on it. We're going to put a timetable on it. Because you know what? I noticed that some people said screen grabs. Like, I sent a screen grab last time, which was 2 years ago, and I still don't have a T-shirt. So we'll see what happens. Some tells me we'll be getting a lot of texts about missing T-shirts. We're going to get a lot of tweets about I didn't get a T-shirt. And then we're going to follow up with Harlan and the staff. They'll be, "Oh, we're on it. We're working on it. I know how it goes. Now I'm upset. Thank you for the call, Uncle Mar. Let's listen to another voicemail.
What up, though? What it do? Shouts out to Reggie and the crew. Jalen, I need you to really take me behind the curtains. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. LeBron is my man, and the team is having unprecedented collapses in January. I know they've had collapses before in January, but this one here, where they've given up 22-point leads and getting blown out back to back to back 3 times in a row. Even when they win, they're giving up 127 points, etc. Do you think that Tyronn Lue was talking about LeBron when he said agendas? I thought he could have been talking about IT or J.R. Smith, but now I'm actually starting to think, after losing to Indiana tonight, that he's talking about LeBron, always trying to get that assist, having the ball in his hands and things like that, as opposed to just playing team ball and playing a good effort on defense. Man, tell me what you think. Take me behind the curtains. Shout out to Jacoby, Mini Mafia, what it is, 100.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate the love.
Shout out.
I'm going to shoot right between the eyeballs. Tyronn Lue was talking about everyone in uniform, including LeBron.
Yep. What does he mean, though? Like, I want you to take us behind the curtain. How could that actually manifest itself when he says agendas? Because the agenda should be win basketball.
When Russell Westbrook lost KD to the Golden State Warriors, he wasn't happy about it.
Nope.
And one of the ways he wanted to make amends for KD leaving is showing everybody he could take his game to another level.
Mm-hmm.
So much so, he became the first person since Oscar Robertson to average a triple-double. And what award did he win?
The MVP, Most Valuable Player.
During this season, while his jump shot has improved from 3, his free throw percentage is up, LeBron James is getting as many rebounds and assists as ever. At times, if you're the coach, like our caller said, is like, man, is he going after MVP? And then you look at the squad and you say, you can't criticize LeBron James at all. Derrick Rose was supposed to come in and play quality minutes. Where is he? You lost Kyrie. Isaiah Thomas has been a shell of himself compared to last year. So now you need all of LeBron's productivity. But where is LeBron now going to not play the way he's capable of playing? On the defensive end. And when your best player isn't giving quality effort, and by the way, he's a human being. He can't be the greatest player on every possession on both ends of the floor unless you Hakeem Olajuwon or Michael Jordan.
Yep. And watching that game against the Raptors when they got blown out, and remember when he was yelling at everybody in the huddle? I watched that game. Some of those defensive lapses, some of those wide open layups, were LeBron James still sticking to his man and not sliding over 2 steps to get in front of somebody coming down the middle of the lane. And as he still gets in the huddle yelling at everybody, there's a part of me that was like, LeBron, I mean, a lot of that was on you, to be honest.
And that's why, if you notice when he was yelling in the huddle, nobody else said anything.
No.
It wasn't because they're scared of him. It wasn't because he's one of the all-time great players. The beauty about being a part of a team is you can say whatever you want to say to a guy, and in a winning situation, he don't take it personal, especially if it's true. Versus a losing scenario, unlike the Cavs, where it becomes an argument. So Tyronn Lue was talking about every player, but also, I have to put this on the wax. We support power couples. I'm so very happy that Tristan and Khloe are expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But the Kardashian curse is real.
I haven't seen Tristan Thompson play the same in that championship year.
They
remember
went
him?
public last year. His numbers in the finals were atrocious.
Oh, it did not.
This offseason, they lost Kyrie. He got injured last year, lost his Iron Man streak, lost his starting spot, and the team has been a shell of itself.
We have one piece of advice. No, we can't tell him to run.
Yeah,
you got to take care of that baby.
No
Can't run
running.
now.
We support them.
Can't
I'm
run
supporting
now.
them.
You
But
gotta
all I'm
stay.
saying is the curse is bigger than him. It's bigger than her. It's bigger than them.
Well, here's the thing: is James Harden proved that there's another side of this. That the curse isn't forever. The curse isn't forever. So, Jalen, something that didn't make the television show that I want to talk to you about. Okay, the Blazers played the Pelicans on Friday night. Pelicans won. After the game, your guy, Yusuf Nurkic,
was talking about your other guy, DeMarcus Cousins, also known as
Boogie.
He had all kinds of Boogie slander. Nurkic said he said he's first team All NBA flopping. What? He said he wasn't really that tough. What? He was talking real greasy about Boogie. What? Why do you think he did that, and do you think he will regret it?
First and foremost, I'm not one of those people that think you have to have the most accolades to have an opinion. Nope. The only thing you have to do to be able to talk trash is to be able to speak.
That's fair.
Media members, especially those who hadn't played, have this part of the equation so twisted. They think, oh, if you're not an all-time great player, then you can't talk trash.
Like, come on, Enes Kanter, stop talking to LeBron James. He's got more rings than you. It's like, Enes Kanter is a professional basketball player. He's got a mouth. He can talk.
Correct. And so Nurkic is really skilled, really talented. They both play in the Western Conference. There are going to be a lot of chances for them to guard one another on both ends of the floor. I love the trash talk. It's really competitive. And now I'm looking forward to when those two teams play one another.
Yep. Absolutely. And also, the Pelicans went on to beat the New York Knicks in the Madison Square Garden in overtime. Anthony Davis had something like 45 and 17 or 47 and 15. Huge numbers. And one play that made its way around NBA Twitter was, again, your man DeMarcus Cousins, also known as
Boogie!
He tried to pass the ball to Anthony Davis, got kind of caught mid-step, had to throw it anyway, ended up throwing a bounce pass to KP, who then gave it to Kanter. And then what happened, Jalen?
Can I go red man? Once he drops it off to Kanter, look out! It's a funkadelic funk for Trump that don't be knowing my name.
And then Boogie got dunked on. So here, I just want to go through Boogie's thought process. He's like, oh, Anthony Davis is going to cut out to the wing. Let me throw him the ball. Okay. Then Anthony Davis decides to slip the screen or whatever he was doing and run away. So he has to throw it to somebody. So he just kind of tries to put it where he thinks Davis is going. Davis goes in the other direction, makes Boogie look like a fool. Boogie turns the ball over. He feels bad, but he blames Anthony Davis, right? So the first thing through Boogie's mind is, come on, Anthony Davis, why are you doing this to me, right? So then he realizes, I got to play defense because I'm the one that turned the ball over, so I can't just let them score. So now I got to make it seem like I'm upset with myself for turning the ball over when really I'm upset with Anthony Davis for turning the ball over. And you can see his thought process when you watch the replay. He's not going 100%. He's going like 40% towards the hole. And then he sees it start. He's like, whoa. This dude's going to try to dunk. He's like, wait, this Kanter's about to dunk. I'm in the way. I got to at least contest the shot. Gives it a half contest, and then what happens?
Look out!
He gets dunked on by Kanter. And you know afterwards, he was so upset because he didn't just get dunked on, he got dunked on by Enes Kanter, who, as we know, as I mentioned earlier, does talk some trash and will let you know about yourself. And I know at some point Boogie yelled at Anthony Davis for that pass. I know he did. Do you think Boogie ever mentioned it?
No, it's not too much to say. Once you get bang, though, like that,
get the ball out quick.
Your teammates will tease you, and they don't want to hear excuses at that point. Nope. It's like, whatever happened with the pass has zero to do with you getting dunked on. Those are two separate incidents.
Independent incidents. So,
no question.
Real quick, if we have some people that are new to the podcast, right? You know, because the podcast keeps getting more and more popular, more and more people are entering the Jalen and Jacoby family. And we appreciate those people. But those who have been rocking with us for years know this. But we have some new listeners, so I want to put this challenge out once again. My brother, my co-host, our friend, Jalen Rose, has a claim that he has never been dunked on in college, and that he has never been dunked on in the NBA. We want to challenge our listeners once again to find a piece of tape. Find some footage of Jalen being dunked on. Don't send us the clip of him getting jumped over in a dunk contest. That doesn't count. Don't send us the clip of Paul Pierce dunking on Jalen because Jalen claims he was behind him, so that doesn't count either. However, he did jump and try to block the shot. So as far as I'm concerned, Paul Pierce dunked on Jalen. But if you can find us another clip, maybe it's a putback dunk from a big man because Jalen doesn't box out or rebound that hard. Maybe it's just a transition where Jalen jumped and got dunked on. If you can find footage of Jalen Rose getting dunked on, we need it. Send it in to @Jalen and Jacoby.
A couple of things. I didn't claim I was behind Paul Pierce. I was.
No, you claim, but you claim you didn't contest
Enes Kanter did to Boogie, that's dunked on.
That's dunked on. That's dunked on.
When the individual's in front of the other individual and they slam the basketball through the rim, that's dunked on.
Well,
I couldn't jump. If that's the case, I could tell you I dunked on a lot of people, and I ain't never dunked on nobody. But I've had dunks.
You've never dunked on anybody?
I've dunked on somebody before.
Okay, I was going to say, we did a whole story time about how you dunked on Michael Jordan.
But here's the other thing I would like to point out. For everybody that's going to take any sweat equity to try to Google me getting dunked on.
It's already been done.
Make sure you follow me on IG, Jalen versus everybody.
Shout out.
That's the whole point.
I'm confused.
Let me say it again. If you're going to take the time and the energy to try to find a way to clown me and find somebody to dunk on me, take the same energy and follow me on IG.
I spend most of my time and energy in finding ways to clown you, so let's not act like that's a bad thing. I'd say like 60% of my waking hours are trying to find ways to clown you. So and then you're trying to act like, if you're going to go online and try to clown me, like, oh, I'm Jalen. I don't know if you know this, but that's basically my entire existence, is just trying to find new ways to clown you. So let's not act like that's such a bad act. Because if it is, then me and you got to have a long talk.
You better find a short pier and take a long walk.
As always, we're going to leave you with the Dope Pod to Step 2. We'll be off this week on Tuesday. We'll be back on Wednesday, and then we'll be back on Friday. Thank you so much for your continued support of this program. Our next pod is on Wednesday, which means it is Woman Crush Wednesday. Ladies!
Hey, ladies!
Make sure you call in and leave us voicemails at 985-80-JALEN. Ladies, we do all female voicemails on Wednesday. Look forward to hearing your calls.
We give the people what they need. We give the people what they need.
I'm a robot vacuum cleaner, so yeah, I got one gig. I suck up dirt, so pardon my inferiority complex about Geico, who does so much more. Like, not only could they save their customers money on car insurance, but they got fast and friendly claim service too, and an award-winning mobile app. Plus access to licensed agents 24/7. Who am I kidding? I can't even do corners. Uh-oh, choking hazard.
Popcorn kernels.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.